We are here to discuss the vice presidential candidates.
I do not know why Joe Biden is a down-to-earth working man who can relate to the middle class and blue-collar workers.
He spent 30 years in the Senate and never won an election outside of Delaware. I have no idea how you make that statement.
Let's face it, one is a serious politician, while the other is a pretty boy come lately, with no serious accomplishments.
And what about would be Joe Biden's great accomplishments in the Senate?
He is really a foreign policy expert. That is where his strength lies.
He wanted to partition Iraq, other than the troop surge. His idea was not only stupid, it showed a remarkable lack of intelligence. Whereas Paul Ryan produced a serious plan for debt reduction, and yet we are still waiting for a Democrat plan to come forward.
His plan wanted to push seniors off a cliff and privatize Medicare.
Why the fuck is so bad to privatize Medicare? Can someone explain that to me?
Obviously, because most seniors have frail minds and are incapable of making decisions. Also, the same logic applies to parents in school vouchers.
I have no idea why anybody would back Paul Ryan. He lied about his marathon time.
Yes, it can be said Joe Biden would never do such a thing. As outrageous as that.
You mean other than how he plagiarized in law school, plagiarized speeches, and made racist comments?
Ha ha ha, that is just Joe being Joe.
Yes, misrepresenting a marathon time is extremely deceptive.
So Joe Biden makes a mistake every other speech, and nobody cares. Paul Ryan makes one error and you're ready to fear the Warren Commission.
You know, you have to relax. He is the Joe Biden. We do not have to seriously examine him. Same applies to the president's foreign policy failures.
As I said before, Joe being Joe.
What the fuck is the Joe being Joe? So he is allowed to make moronic mistakes and race bait, and you guys could hardly care.
Just Joe being Joe.
So essentially, we have a bright energetic candidate versus a hateful moron.
As I said before, I will take Biden. Joe being Joe, I am laughing to myself right now.
Well, I am glad to see that the liberal media will not criticize or take to task our moronic vice president for things he says or does.
Listen, if you want us to look at him that way, he should change his name to Quaylor Palin or just register Republican.